his mom didn't think he could be a wrestler because he was such a, we call it in Spanish, a chillon, a crybaby. And he was such a crybaby and such a little, like not a wimp, but he was so like would cry at any drop of the hat and stuff. So that she was like, my grandma was like, there's no way this kid is ever going to follow in the footsteps. And sure enough, he came out to be the best one.
Tell us something before we let you go. We have a couple of minutes left. Tell us something about Eddie Guerrero that none of us might know.
About Eddie, wow, that's a good. I'm on the spot, man. There's so much stuff about Eddie that we, have always talked about. But here's a good quote. Here, I may have said it before, but when Eddie was a kid, he was the baby before me, right? And then I came, then I was the baby. So he was my grandfather's late mistake, and I was my dad's early mistake. So both of us were not supposed to be here. So, we grew up, we were brothers, of course. Even though he technically was my uncle, we were 3 years apart. And we grew up as brothers, 100%. We fought like brothers and loved like brothers. But Eddie, his mom didn't think he could be a wrestler because he was such a, we call it in Spanish, a chillon, a crybaby. And he was such a crybaby and such a little, like not a wimp, but he was so like would cry at any drop of the hat and stuff. So that she was like, my grandma was like, there's no way this kid is ever going to follow in the footsteps. And sure enough, he came out to be the best one. So that's a little quick.
That's great. Yeah, no, that's good. What was your favorite Eddie Guerrero match?
Gosh, so many. I loved his Black Tiger stuff.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I loved his Black Tiger stuff. I loved his Gringo Loco stuff for sure. But Black Tiger, and even when he and I would be working together, or even when he was doing single stuff and he had like a really hard match coming up against like a Kurt Angle or a Benoit or somebody, Brock Lesnar, who was going to, I know people wrestling entertainment and stuff, but there's a lot of times we're fighting for our lives in that.
I know it.
And there was times, man, he would have to go like, okay, I have to pep talk him and say, man, Black Tiger, brother, today it's not Eddie, it's Black Tiger. Let's go. And I would kind of have to get him into that Black Tiger mindset because of that Japanese strong style mindset. He'd have to go knowing that he's going to hit hard, but he's going to get hit hard as well. So that's a lot of times, man, I would have to get him into that mode. I guess everybody I get, hey, we were doing light cheat steel and laughing and throwing the chairs and doing all that kind of stuff. But there was a lot of times, man, when for the first time, me and Eddie, the first time they put us together on a main event, and that was main event SmackDown against Kurt Angle and Chris. Oh. And it was Toronto, Maple Leaf Arena, and we kicked their butts, and we really did.
It was almost a shoot.
It was very, very close. When we went in the back, Kurt Angle came to me and goes, man, what the hell was that? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, man, you guys kicked our ASSs. Yeah. And I was like, well, weren't you going to do that to us? And he's like, yeah. And you know what? And I felt really bad. You know my dad really well. I know we have just a second here to talk. You know my dad real well, Chavo Classic.
Yes.
And when he came back to WWE as my manager, he helped me turn on Eddie type thing. Right away, and then I'm always thinking it was Chavo Sr. from, the 80s when he was, at one point, he was one of the best wrestlers in the world.
I know that. He was the $1 million rookie.
Right, that's right. He could cook, man. He could cook. Yeah. So good, in fact, that he wrestled in 1 year. He wrestled for Terry Funk for the NWA Championship, right. Superstar Billy Graham for the WWF Championship, and Nick Bockwing for the AWA Championship.
I remember.
And went an hour Broadway with each one of them. Didn't lose to any of them.
He was amazing.
So he could cook, man. So I'm always thinking of my dad like that. He came back. Now, of course, he was probably 55 years old. So they came back and they put him in a main event with me as his tag team partner against Eddie and Kurt Angle.
Yes.
I feel really bad because we were like, man, we were at the peak of our wrestling. And his eyes, dad's eyes were as big as saucers. And I was trying to protect him out there and like, man, keep him going. But I felt bad. I should have gotten him. I should have protected him a lot more. Because when we came in the back, he looked at us, at all three of us. He's like, gosh, damn, you guys are 3-quarter shooting out there. And I'm like, no, that's just what we do. And he goes, no, you guys, like, I couldn't grab anything. Anytime I went to go grab Kurt Angle, he's pulling away, and like literally he had to shoot to grab something. I said, well, that's how we work.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're that tight that to anywhere. If I go to waist lock you and it's and you can get out, you get out. And
yeah.
that's the way we did it. We were so tight that man, I thought we should have protected him a little bit more. But after that, that's when we were like, okay.
All right. Do you still?
He's a 55-year-old Chavo Classic and not a 35-year-old.
Do you still lie, cheat, and steal?
Didn't I just do it?
You did.
Didn't I
Real
just do
quick,
it?
We've got about 2 minutes left. If you wrote a book about Eddie Guerrero or the Guerrero family, what would it be called?
Growing Up Guerrero.
Oh, I love that.
Growing Up Guerrero. It was not easy.
Yeah.
There's a reason why all of us are tough, and it's because look, all of our mentors, our idols were our family. Mine, including, was Eddie, was my dad, was Mondo, my grandfather. And the second that you have to stand up and fight for your life out of the ring with your mentors, your idols, then nobody scares you anymore. The second that I had to do it with my father, unfortunately, I had to do it several different times. The second that me and Eddie, when I finally, and this is not in the ring, this is out of the ring, outside of a gold in El Paso, Texas, and we were face to face, and we were FUing each other like, you jump, and we were just waiting for each other to none of them would, because we had too much love for each other, thank God, but we were just waiting, and once you do that, nobody else in the world scares you.
I'm not going to ask you to finish because we have 1 minute to go. I just want to thank you so much for your quality time of doing this, and I've been not just a fan but a family friend of the entire Guerreros since in the magazines we dubbed Chavo the $1 million rookie, and you were the son of the $1 million rookie.
And I tell you what, I used to read that as a kid. I was like, Dad, where's all your money?
Well, he lied.
We've been fans of you and George and all the stuff you've done toward the wrestling world for so long, man. We appreciate all
51 years.
You've given so much to the wrestling world, and we applaud you. So thank you, Bill Apter.
Love you, my friend.
Love you back.
Bill Apter for Sportskeeda Wrestling, and we'll see you at the matches.